Hi everyone, Healthy Chef Sherell here, coming to you from the LEED Certified Living Fort House. And today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious pineapple upside down cake. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the easiest cakes to make, and it's delicious. It's a real crowd pleaser. We'll go ahead and get started. I'll walk you through the ingredients as we go through. It's a basic yellow cake mix. I'm substituting gluten-free and vegan ingredients. I already have all my dry ingredients together. I'm using oat flour and buckwheat. I have my baking powder in here, my salt, some nutmeg, cinnamon, and vanilla already in the mix. Today we're going to be using a blend of xylitol, agave, and stevia. Blending these natural sweeteners is the best way to give you a regular sugar taste. So we're not using any sugar at all, no sugar in any recipes, but these are the natural sweeteners that I'm using today. Also, this particular recipe that I'm using calls for a cup of liquid. So I'm using coconut milk, 50% coconut milk, and the other is pineapple juice. I drained the pineapples and I have the juice, so that's going to be going into the mix, which gives it an even richer pineapple flavor. Also, the coconut milk gives it a richer flavor. I'm using this butter substitute. It's a vegan butter in place of butter. You can also use coconut oil for this recipe, but in this particular recipe, I'm looking for a very buttery flavor, so that's why I chose to use this. I'll use a half a cup in the mix, and then I'll put a half a cup in my cake pan today, my iron skillet. So a half a cup will go in here to be the bottom, which will be the decorative part of the cake. So to start off with, I'm using egg replacer. That is a vegan cake. I've already mixed the egg replacer powder with the appropriate amount of water, but I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm letting the mixer do the hard work of beating the egg replacer because we want it to look like egg whites. And the egg replacer is going to help bind the cake, and also it helps to keep it moist. So we'll just give this a whirl. Okay, so let's have a look. And I want you to see how that looks, just white and fluffy. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the rest of my liquid ingredients to get this going. I'll add the half cup of oil, or the butter substitute that I'm using. Put that right in here. Right, we'll just give that a whirl. Next we'll add our half cup of pineapple juice. Then we'll add our half cup of coconut milk. We're going to start with the dry ingredients next, but before I do that, I'm going to change and put my mixing blade in. This tool is for more whipping to get air into a recipe, and this one is for mixing. Okay, so we are ready to add our sweetener, our xylitol. Right in there. And now we'll add our dry ingredients a little bit at a time. Oh, I do want to add some sweet potato to this too. A lot of times I add sweet potato or applesauce to a cake mix. This helps to bind it together and give it additional moisture as well. And I had a leftover sweet potato, so I'm just going to put this in here too. Mix that up nicely. Keep adding our dry ingredients. It's important to scrape down the sides to make sure everything's thoroughly mixed. So we'll stop the mixer and scrape down the sides. There we go. and the rest of the dry ingredients. I want to show you what the mix looks like. It's all in there. Okay, so this is the cake batter, and when I pour it out into the iron skillet, you can see the thickness as well. Now this is a time where we truly have to have some quality control. So I'm going to taste it and make sure the sweetener is correct, as well as if there's enough salt, enough spices. Just want to taste it, and at this point I'll correct anything that needs to be corrected. Okay, let's give this a taste. Actually, it's pretty good on its own. Because it has the pineapple juice in there, it really doesn't need any extra sweetener. I always add a little apple cider vinegar into this before I put it into the baking pan. It reacts with the baking powder and makes it rise better. So this is a tip for you when you are baking with gluten-free ingredients. It helps it rise. Now let's go ahead and oil our skillet. You can use a cake pan as well, but I just like to use the skillet. It's extra wide, so it gives you a little bit of a bigger cake, and also more area to decorate with, to add the fruits and things in here. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and put the pineapples down, just in a decorative way. Most people use maraschino cherries in this recipe. I don't, because they come with sugar in them, and I don't use cane sugar as an ingredient. What I normally do is use black cherries. I can find black cherries usually in the frozen food section at a natural market like Whole Foods Market. But they didn't have any this week, so I thought, what can I do? So I'm going to substitute with blueberries. We're still going to get that beautiful color of the berries. We'll just put them right in here. And I know that the cherries have a harder skin, and so I'm curious. I haven't done this before, so I'll see how this actually bakes in the end. I may end up putting more cherries on the top when I turn it upside down. We'll see what happens. Never be afraid to experiment. We have our pineapples. We have our blueberries. Now it's time for the pecans. All right, so I'm going to decorate with these beautiful pecans. There we go. I like to have a good bit of them in here because people like to have a pecan in their slice of cake. It's good to put as many in here as you can. I'm gonna need a few more. Sometimes it's a little hard to find a beautiful pecan, but just sort through what you have and use the best you can. Actually, I'm gonna turn these upside down, face down, so that they'll be a better presentation for the cake. They're gonna flutter around a little bit too. Don't be overly concerned if your pecans have moved when you turn the cake right side up. I'm also going to add some pecan pieces, just so that it's nice and full and beautiful. Going around the side with this too. So, you know, this is really an easy recipe. You don't have to ice it. You don't have to use fondant. It's just very easy. And because you're not icing it, it's a healthier cake too. You can make icing with organic xylitol confectioner's sugar. They do make that. It's very expensive though. If you just want to make a cake without the hassle of making icing or using sugar, use fruit instead. Now that we have our fruit decoratively displayed on the pan, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of the vegan butter to the bottom of the pan. It's half butter and half a sweetener. It's the vegan butter and agave, about half and half, just mix it together. And the agave is what's going to make it all gooey and sweet and brown and pretty and delicious and hold the whole topping together. So I'm just going to give this a whirl right here. And then I'm going to pour it on the bottom of the pan, just covering everything equally. Right, so let's have a look at this. So that's our fruit with our pecans and the buttery agave liquid. All the ingredients here are organic, and again, it's a gluten-free recipe. I will put the recipe on my Patreon page, and that information will be below. There we go. Just turn it on and just give it a little whirl. Put a little bit in there like that. All right, so now we're going to pour our batter over our fruit topping. I like to do this part with a measuring cup because I want it to be evenly distributed over the topping. Otherwise, if you pour it right in there, it might make the fruit topping float around a little bit. So to avoid that, we'll do it this way. Okay, now we can go ahead and pour it in. We have it pretty well distributed. We'll go ahead and pour the rest over the top. So we'll just scrape down the sides and get every bit of goodness in here. All right, so you can see we have our cake batter. It's all ready to go. I'm going to put it in the oven on a 350 degree. I'll be back with you soon to show you our beautiful finished cake. Before I flip it, I wanted to tell you about my KitchenAid mixer, which I absolutely love. I've had it for about 7 or 8 years. It's such a workhorse. I've used it in my bakery. It's got hours on it, and I haven't had a minute's trouble with it. I just love it so much. So it comes with 3 attachments, the basic mixer does. So we've got the flat beater, which is what I used earlier to mix the cake with. We have the whisk, which is what I use to whisk the egg replacer with. And I also have a dough hook, so you can make dough with this mixer. My recipes improved immediately from the very first moment. The KitchenAid just has a way of getting more air into your mix, and so my baked goods started to be fluffier and they were moister, and it was just a better product all the way around. I'm delighted with my KitchenAid mixer. The link for this is below in the show notes. And now back to the cake. Okay, so the pineapple upside down cake is out of the oven. It's been cooling for about 30 minutes. We need to let it cool before we flip it over, because if we don't, it can break apart. You don't want to let it sit too long either, because it can get stuck. So 30 minutes is about the right amount of time for the cake to easily release from the pan. This is a cast iron pan. It's pretty heavy, a little bit trickier than just a regular stainless steel cake pan, but I think we'll be fine. This is the bottom of the cake, so I'm going to put this here, this plate right here, and then this is a trick to it. I'm going to use this to turn the cake right side up. It's still a little hot, but I think I can do it. So we're going to give it a try. This goes really fast. You just want to turn it and get it flipped over. And it is heavy. There we go. And I just heard it release. So I'm gonna check to make sure that it all came out. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Yep, voila. Perfect. All right. So here we have our beautiful pineapple upside down cake. I'm going to let it rest on here before I transfer it to this, because it really needs to cool down. The cakes are very delicate at this moment, so they need to rest. Be back with you, take pictures of it when it's fully presented. I'm going to style it in a couple of different ways. As it is right now, it's perfect for a house party or dinner party or a family event. The blueberries worked out really well in place of the cherries, so I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. But I'm also going to decorate this for Halloween and also for a birthday cake. We're going to get a lot of uses out of this one. All right, so I'll be back with you later with pineapple upside down cake decorated. I'll see you then. Okay, so here we are back with our beautifully decorated pineapple upside down cake, ready for the holidays, for the Halloween holiday. Perfect for a dinner party or a get together, anything fun. And if you happen to have someone, a loved one or a friend with a birthday near Halloween like I do, you can make it a birthday cake. My daughter's birthday is very close to Halloween, so happy birthday, Gracie. All right, now, the other thing we can do with this cake, it doesn't have to be decorated for Halloween. It can be a birthday cake, it can be a Halloween cake, or you can take all the decorations off and simply have a pineapple upside down cake. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed the cooking video. You can find me on YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, and Facebook, all under the handle of Healthy Chef Sherell. My full video library and recipes are on my Patreon channel. Please remember to subscribe and share. I really appreciate it. It helps me grow my channel. The product links are below in the show notes. Thanks so very much for watching. Enjoy the recipe. Bye-bye now.